Assalamualaikum, my name is Muhammad Azfar bin Saiful Baheran. I am from RSR 2455B. So for today, I will do the individual assignment for the subject SRT 6 of 5. So in this assignment, we got two questions, two set data collection. Which is the first set is the criminal want to identify any significant difference in the mix of cholesterol level between group A and group B. So for the set 1, the question is what is the stable statistical analysis for the objective question. Briefly explain the solution. So they have four solutions. First, we need to identify the independent variable, dependent variable, the observation, and also the distribution of the data. So first, the dependent variable is the cholesterol level, and the independent variable is the group A and also the group B. So the observation is the independent sample, and then in the distribution of the data is the test of normality by using the homograph and the Shapiro. So what the essential of the statistical data? First is the dependent variable must be in the numerical data, and random sample independent observation to distribute the data. And we also need to see the data in the Shapiro and also the chromograph. So in the next question is you need to explain how to check the normality, use the SPSS and explain the output. So let's go to the question C. First we need to open the SPSS. This is the SPSS. Then we need to open the data. So this is the data for the dataset 1. Then just to put the data in the variable view. For the first column, put the group of the cholesterol. Okay, so next is the level of the cholesterol. Right. Uh, 0 for the group, and for the level is the 1 because in the data set it show 1 decimal place, and for the values for the group is the we have a 2. For the 1 we label for the group A, and for the 2 is the group B. Okay, next we click OK, and for the measurement is the scale for both group. Okay, next we go to the data view. Okay, we just key in the data based on the data sets. So 1, okay, next we will key in the data for the level of the cholesterol. So 6, 6.4, 7, 5.8, 6, 5.8, 6, 5.8, 6, 6.4, 7, 5.8, 6, 5.8, 6.8, 5.9, 6.7, 6.1, 6.5, 6.3, 5.8, 6.4, 5.6, 5, 5, 4.5, 6, and 6.1. So next, we want to know the next question is we want to analyze using the second analysis independent test or the pair test for each data set using SPSS. So we go back to the SPSS. So we go to the analyze, we go to the descriptive stative, and we go to the explore to identify the data. So next we will put the level of cholesterol in the dependent list and also the group cholesterol in the factor list, and the statistic must be 95% and click continue. For the plots, we click the histogram and normality plots with the test, and then we click continue and we click OK and wait for the data. Okay, so when the output is appear, so we need see at the test of the normality. So first we see at the common graph Smirnov and also the Shapiro week. So at here, so the Shapiro week is the less than the 15 respondent, and the common graph is the more than the 15 respondent. So we see at the significant at the Shapiro week. So significance of the pre-value are more than 0.05, and which means the data is normal. So in the Shapiro week, the significance is for group A is 0.332, and for the group B is 0.893. So the data is the less than 0.05, which means is the data is normal. So next we want to see the data for the independent t-test. So we go back to the SPSS, go to analyze, we need compare miss, and click the independent sample t-test. So first, the level cholesterol we put in the test variable, and the cholesterol in the group B variable with the option this must be 95%. Click continue and define group. It's the group 1 is for the group A. We put the 1, and group 2 is the group B. We put the number 2 and continue, and we click OK and wait for the output. Right, so for independent sample t-test, we will look at the independent sample test. So the significant to tail is the more than 0.07. So set the hypothesis and level of the significant. So the level of significant is level of there is a significant difference at the both group, which is 0.07 and 0.12, and the indication significant p-value 0.0 0.007 is less than 0.05, which reject null hypothesis. So in the conclusion, the test is significant. So that's all for me. Thank you. Next is for the data set 2. So the data set 2 question is the Iskandar want to compare the changes of scar area of the patient before and after treatment. Measurements are taken 1 day before and 1 week after the treatment. So for the question A, what is the suitable statistical analysis for the objective and question? Briefly explain the solution. So we have for solution. First, we need to identify the dependent variable, independent variable, observation, and the description of the data. So for the dependent variable is the change of the scar area, and the independent variable is the before and the after treatment. So, what are the observation used are the dependent sample, and descriptive of the data is the test of the normality, chromograph, and the Saiful. So, what the assumption of the statistical analysis is the first, the data must be in the numerical data, then the sample, and we need to find the comparison of the before and the after treatment. So in the question C, you need to explain how to check the normality using SPSS and explain the output. So we go to SPSS, and then we open the data sets. So this is the data set of the question 2, which is the scar. So first we go to the variable view and we key in the data. For this one, we will key in the before treatment, and this one is the after treatment. Right, so the type is the numeric, and for the decimal place, I think for the decimal place, we follow for the data set, which is to use the 2 decimal place, and there is no label for this. And for the measure, we use scale for both of it. Okay, next we go to the data view. Right, then we just need to key in the data based on the data sets. So just key in 5, 7, 5, 7, 5.5, 5, 3, 5, 6, 4, 8, 7.5, 6, 3, 2, 7, 7, 6, 4.5, and 4. So in again after treatment, which is 3, 3, 4.5, 4.5, 5.5, 1, 2, 4, 5.5, 6, 3, 4, 4.5, 4.5, 2, 4, 4.5, 5, 7, two point five, 4.5, and 54. Alright, so next we need to find the difference of the before and the after treatment. So we will go to the trans go to the transform, go to the compute variable. So at the target variable we will type difference because we need to find the difference before and after treatment. Difference. So we just in the before treatment in the numeric expression and minus by the after treatment. So we click OK and wait for the output. Okay, so this is the difference of the before and after treatment. So next, we want to find the test of the normality. So we go to the analyze, go to the descriptive statistic, and we go to the explore, and we just put the difference in the dependent list. The statistic descriptive is must be 95%, and the plot is the histogram and normality plot with test. So click continue and click OK, and we wait for the output. Right, so we go to the table test of the normality. So we have two Komograph and the Sapiro. So we need to see at the Sapiro because the Sapiro is the data which is less than 15 samples. So in this data is the 20 samples. So we see at the significance of the Sapiro is 0.133, and which is the data is significant, and the p-value is more than 0.05, and the data is normally distributed, and the data is used method of the pair t-test. So next we go to the how to see the data of the pair t-test is we go to the analyze, we go to the compare means, and we click to the pair sample t-test. Right, so first, in the variable 1, we put the before treatment, and in the variable 2, we put the after treatment. So we go to the option, and into the percentage 95%, we continue, and we click OK. So we put wait for the output. So we go to the pair sample t-test. So we want to see the significant to tail, and the result is significant, and the null hypothesis there is no significant difference. There is no significant difference change of the skull area of the population before and after treatment. So there is a significant difference on the change of the skull area of the population before and after treatment. That is the hypothesis, and the indication of the data is the reject if the p-value is less than 0.05 and not reject the data if the p-value is more than 0.05. So reject the hypothesis. So there is the test is significance, and the conclusion is there is a significant difference change of the scar area of burn patient before and after treatment. Uh, so we can see in the SPSS the scar area of the burn patient is before and after treatment have a change after the 1 week treatment. So that's all for me. Thank you.